I am the Shade, and welcome to the Shadows. Welcome back. We're just traveling through Minecraft looking for an awesome area to call my own. The I was referring to the map on that external program a second ago and noticed that I actually still do have a very long way to go, so I think I will kill most of these guys for the wool and the food. I do believe I will make it before the end of this episode, though. I shouldn't have killed the gray one, because I'm not going to keep that one gray wool, because it won't stack with my white ones. It's a shame there was no sort of like monster capture thing in here. That would have been cool, like a Pokeball or something, so you could just like catch them and carry them with you. I bet there's a mod like that. You know, right now, for the time being, I'm only going to play vanilla. I'm not going to even start with the whole modding thing. But at some point, I am going to. And you know, if you guys know of, and of course I picked all of it to back up. If you guys know of any great mods or anything you want to recommend or suggest, please let me know. Because once I get through a few seasons of this, I've never really modded the game. I've toyed around with a couple, but never to any real great extent. And I should find some good ones to spice it up once I've gotten some of my more basic things done. Probably keep the same world and the same structure that I built, just, you know, kind of add it in to make it more interesting. I'm thinking something like... Well, honestly, I'm a huge Pokemon nerd, so I mean, that would kind of be really cool. Not sure if that would be YouTube friendly though, since Pokemon is a Nintendo IP and they aren't exactly fond of people who use their stuff on YouTube. I'll have to think about it. So much food, so little time. These pumpkins are a really important item to grab. When you see pumpkins, you want to get them. The reason being is, no, you can't eat them. No, they're not like... But what you can do is you can turn them into jack-o'-lanterns, which, to an extent, yeah, is a little ugly, a little tacky, I'll give you that. But here's the thing. The only other lighting source that's comparable to them is glowstone. And if you've played this game much at all, you know glowstone is a pain to try to get. And what you do get of it, you usually need it for potions, and you don't have the luxury of just using it for a lighting system. Unless you're doing it very sparingly. Maybe there's a way to get it in large quantities that I'm unfamiliar with. I don't know. Like I said, it has been a while. I know that the villager trading is really cool now. I'm looking forward to messing with that and maybe seeing if there's a way to get it through there. But as far as I know, there's no real good way to get glowstone. Make sure I'm still headed in the right direction. Okay. I gotta get a compass. I hate pulling up that menu all the time, but I mean, it's really hard for me to keep my bearings in this game. I don't know if that's just for everyone or if it's just a personal weakness of mine. Hard to say, honestly. Now, I am going to be super annoyed if when I get all the way down here, if this program that I use, which is no longer kept up to date, unfortunately, so it can't like really process all the newer stuff. But it's been very reliable with the overall generation of the world. Seems like they haven't messed with it all that much since this thing was made. If they've messed with it and doesn't work, I'm gonna be super annoyed that I traveled all this way for nothing. Okay, sun is setting. Time to get somewhere for my next night. Go, bump, 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 bump. Just kind of fill in the spaces. Go ahead and just throw up a torch. Throw down the bed. There we go. Press. Alright. Definitely gonna leave the bed this time. That way, if I die, I don't have to start all the way back over. Need to try to get off of the water though, because it's much slower in the water than you are on the ground. Yeah, I was really hoping to like make it to my location in one video. Looks like it might even take most of this one to make it there. It's a rabbit! Hoo-wee. Okay, I know this is gonna sound really stupid, but for a second I thought he had red eyes, and I was gonna be like, oh crap. And I know it's really stupid to walk up on them if you think they have red eyes, but I've never seen one. So I mean, if that was the case, I wanted to know it. I wanted to see just how, like, my shovel broke. It doesn't take that long. This stuff right here is not really rare, but I mean, it's hard to get it in any large quantity, so anytime you just see it sitting there, it's usually a good idea to take a second and collect it. I mean, it doesn't usually take very long, and it's just not an easy thing to find. Well, not in any sort of real quantity. I mean, I'm planning on doing a mega structure. Like, I want something that is going to, well, you know how you can make a map and then you can increase the size of the map? Well, I want to make the largest map I can make, and then I want my castle to start in one corner of the map and end in the other corner. I want it to be the full length of the largest map I can make. That is my goal. And that's going to take a lot of doing. I know that. But I mean, it's kind of what the game's for, if you ask me. Would probably be a little easier if I did with other people and had help. But the thing is, in Minecraft, you know, I don't really trust other people. I've had too many people kind of like want to blow stuff up and burn stuff, and you know, if you play multiplayer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you know, that's one of the main reasons that, like, you dig down deep into the earth and hide in a corner until you have enough stuff to, like, protect yourself. Because there are some real jerks who like to play this game. Well, not just this one. There's people like that in every game. Comes with the territory. I don't really feel like stopping and collecting all that. I'll try to make a mental note to come back sometime. You know, you really do find a lot of it on little riverbeds like this. But again, when you're talking about building something on as massive a scale as I'm wanting to build on, you know, the stuff's really not that easy to come by. Especially since you have to search for it. I'm really hoping to be getting closer to my goal, to the target area. Now, you guys are probably all very familiar with the Disco Mountains, but if you aren't, if you've never seen them, they're quite fascinating. It's really cool. It's like all these different colored blocks, and the color of the block is dependent on which layer it's spawned at. So it's like, it'll be like the top layer will be like red, and then the layer right below that will be like yellow, and then white. And they're not that hard to mine, so I mean, it's just this really great color palette for when you want to build something. And when I played before, it used to get really boring because, you know, you were either building out of stone or wood, and there was a couple of variations of stone, but it was really just the same thing over and over again. Lava. Anytime you see a forest on fire, I've heard lightning strikes can do it, but it's normally lava. And lava is such a pain in this game, but it's still one of my favorite things. I'm looking forward to showing you why later. It is a great fuel source, a great light source. I love using lava as a lighting source. Everyone who just heard that probably thinks I'm an idiot, but I love lava lighting systems. You have to be careful with them, because if you don't do it right, you're gonna regret it. But it's still one of my favorite things. I used to have a castle that just had lava flowing like all over the place. It was a liquid. Was that iron? No. It had a liquid lava lighting system, and it was really quite epic. I might try to do something like that again, but if I do, it will be probably in a small area, because it takes a lot of work to do it right, and to make sure nothing catches on fire. I should be getting closer. Cool. Let's see. I'm gonna start going in this direction. And yeah, I am really close now. If everything goes according to plan, I should be able to get there and set up just a rudimentary base inside the cliff before the end of this episode. And I mean, it's not like it's right over the corner or anything, but like, I'm really close. I'm really glad to see sheep this close to it too. I hope for more, but I mean, even just a few thousand blocks away will keep me from having too much of a nightmare. Now, this is the kind of forest you gotta watch out for monsters in. These extra thick trees have extra thick leaves, and they will allow monsters to spawn in this area. So you really gotta be careful around here. Ooh, and you gotta be careful for those everywhere. I still remember when those things first started popping up, those deep ravines over there. First couple times I fell in one, I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. Of course, I had all my best stuff on me too. Looks like there's some good animals close by too. I may be quite lucky. This might be a very good area to build in. On a personal note, when possible, I would try to avoid building inside of swamps. They spawn slimes, and unlike the other monsters that you can just kind of like prevent from spawning by putting up a bunch of lights, well, that doesn't work in swamps. The slimes will spawn regardless. So, which, mind you, you need them. The slime balls you get from them are really good. I think they're required for the leash, which is really good for moving animals to where you want them and like attaching them to stuff. And like I said, you'll need slime balls for various items, But the slimes themselves, you really don't want them spawning inside your structure. They're kind of a pain. And if they get a jump on you, one of the bigger ones do, they can actually kill you pretty easily too. Big thick forest again. Lots of animals. Come on now. Show it to me in the distance. Oh! Oh, jumping Jesus Jehoshaphat. Careful about what's around you. I mean, holy, I just about jumped right into that hole. Now, it actually is a lucky break to find it because there's a little bit of iron right there. That'll come in handy. And I don't know why my audio keeps my video, but I have a bad feeling it will. Because, I mean, honestly, doesn't it always? 2 pieces of iron is actually all you need to make a, 2 pieces of iron is all you need to make shears, and shears is what you need to go ahead and get the wool off the sheep without actually killing them, and then it like grows back, and that's a really good find. That way I can go ahead and start doing that without worrying about digging way down without having an adequate spawn point. Although I did already kill a few, so it's a mute point. But it's still go ahead and good to collect the iron when you see it. It'll be really abundant later on, but in the early parts, it can be hard to find. And of course the sun is going down yet again. I was really hoping to reach before the day ended. Ah, there it is! There's my promised land. That is awesome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to go over there real quick before things start getting real. I'm going to just dig right into the side and make a little base on the inside and start exploring outwards from there. But this area is really cool, especially if you want to build like complicated structures with different colors. I mean, this is really where it's at. Dig into the inside. Hate to not get that. Probably will as soon as I get some stuff placed. But for the moment, there we go. Alright. Now let's prioritize and go ahead and get that. Oh, I don't have the bed. Okay. And get that down. Now I can make a bed. And of course I put them in the wrong spot. You dummy. Alright. Get those placed. Make the bed. I'll go ahead and drop the 1 piece of wood for the moment. That down. Sleep. It's always a good thing to do. Go ahead and skip the night phase. I know I'm inside. I know I could take my time in here, but the fewer monsters that spawn out there, the better off you are, because not all of them burn up in the sunlight. I think I've already went through that, but I'll say it again. There's a couple that just don't die when the sun rises. Most of them do. A couple don't, and you don't want to run across the creeper ill prepared. He's a real pain. And that's an understatement. Okay. Let's go ahead and turn some of this. We're going to get a chest going. Go ahead and get rid of that. Pull that down. Okay. Go ahead and move a lot of this up, because a lot of it I don't need to carry right now. Especially since if you die, you drop everything on death, and I mean, unless you can get back to it quick enough, it just disappears, and that really sucks. Okay. And that's an Enderman. Important note, don't look straight at an Enderman. It antagonizes them and they will attack you. And there's a creeper over there. Okay. Yeah, see right there? Those dudes are super strong and you really don't want to mess with them unless you're ready. And I'm not. I want to get up on the top of here and see exactly. Oh yes, this is exactly what I was looking for. I do just have to say again how much I love the program I used. Oh crap, there's a skeleton. Is he in the water? Yeah. They won't die if they're in water. It somehow protects them from the... Gotcha. Bones come in handy. Bones are used for taming dogs. They're also used for... oh, bone meal. You can use it to grow stuff. Grow things at an accelerated rate, I should say. I've got to decide where I want to lay down my roots for an actual base, though. I want it to be close by. I want it to be really close by. But I want it to be kind of flat too. You know, I could easily make my base here, but see, I like having a mining base here, but I like having a main base where I'm actually going to be building at. That way, it's where I usually like to mine at. I'd just come here for the colored blocks because they add a lot of spice to what you can make. Mountains are so dangerous. I have died on many a mountain. That's why you always carry a stack of 64 dirt. It really makes traversing these kind of things a lot easier. And if you're planning on coming the same route several times, it's always a good idea to make actual steps instead of just going straight up like I did. But, oh, and there's a desert. That's good. It's really good. Okay, I think I'm gonna make my base over here. Get on there. There we go. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. Why did you drop off all your stuff if you're not going to stay there? Well, because one, I could very easily die over here and then my stuff is safe. And two, because I didn't know how far I was going to be looking. So, I mean, hey. And I still don't know how far I'm going to be looking because... oh yeah, this is good. This is really good. This will be a lot of work too. But that's alright. It'll be fun work. Looks like we got some good animals nearby. Lots of resources within a reasonable distance. Water, which will come in handy. Okay. Now I just gotta decide what I'm gonna make my first little base out of. I'll probably make it out of wood, because wood's easy. And of course I left everything. Okay. I could go back, but I mean, it would take a while to get back and then come back here. I mean, there was really nothing over there that I need all that badly right now. I'll need food soon, but I mean, I've got time. But I left all my stone. There we go. Thought there'd be some close by. You can usually find stone pretty close by if you just look. Just gather a few pieces. That should be more than enough for now. Just head back over here. Now, one of my favorite things to do is usually just to cut right into the side of a mountain. I don't usually do the whole building a house thing, or at least not this early on. Part of the reason I'm going to go ahead and do it, though, is because by going ahead and building a proper house, you make it a lot easier to find it. And I'll probably put a couple of like areas higher up on it so I can put lights on it and make it really easy to spot. The white lumber is actually my favorite one to use. If there's enough trees like that close by, I'll definitely use it as my building material. First structure really won't be anything worth assault, but it'll keep me safe at night. Actually probably should have went ahead and went back and got my stuff, because now I don't have a bed and I don't have a way to switch it from day to night. But, night to day. Sorry, I said that backwards. But it's alright. Let's go ahead and try to do it real quick. See, the problem is that this mountain is very big, which is great, because, I mean, I'm going to be after so much of that stone to build the castle, like, I will probably end up demolishing most of it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if this entire mountain ends up being hollow by the time I'm done. But I put my base in like one little like corner of it, so I don't know how hard it's gonna be to find it. Which I'm really glad I have a bed down now, because at least this way, if I die, I'm right back here. No fuss, no muss, just... And there goes my audio again. I've got to figure out why it's continuously doing that. I'm gonna have to play these back and make sure that it's not damaging my gameplay. I mean these are just traveling, so I'm not too worried about it, but still. Phew, does not take them long to spawn, does it? Looks like there's a few natural caves inside of this thing too. Not exactly good for me. Now see, one of the things I did do, which is a very good thing I did, because it'll make it a lot easier to find it, is I put a torch directly over the doorway, which you always want to do. This was the other reason I went ahead and came. If you notice in the bottom corner, my character is getting very hungry. I can't even run anymore, which could actually be what kills me, is the fact that there's these skeletons around here shooting at me, and I cannot run, I cannot regenerate. Now I'm in water, which is making me even slower. And I still don't have a beat on the entrance. Luckily, none of these guys are faster than I am. Best they can do is whittle away at me from a distance. Come on, you gotta be around here somewhere. Yeah, and an FYI, in areas like this, they are relentless when they start spawning. I actually get the feeling this is going to be my first death. Yep. It happens. Ooh. But that's what I did, which is a major screw up, which was I did not block my entrance. Okay. Go ahead and sleep. Had a feeling I was going to die on the way back. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab everything of importance. This exact location is actually not that important, so I'll probably just go ahead and take everything. I'm going to leave things set up just the way this is, because if I die again at any point before I make another bed, I'll come back here, which is perfect. I'll go ahead and leave just a couple of basic materials, that way I can make stuff if that happens. Actually, you know what? I have a whole stack, so I'll leave that and that. And I'm going to go ahead and turn these into blocks. I thought there was a... Ah, there it is. I knew there was a way to split them. That way it only takes up one spot. Okay. So on the next episode, I'm going to start building an actual base around that